Hello and welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and I think we might have something really special again for you today, in the form of arrow knots by Myxo, no less. And the reason I'm doing this is I had a call from Mark about half an hour ago, where we had this one recommended, and Mark decided to test it himself, which happens sometimes. And he basically said that this is, in his opinion, one of the best puzzles he has done in the last 2 years. And he is, well, I think he's a bit disappointed he hasn't got to do it in one of his videos, because he said that the solve is just fabulous. But yeah, I'm going to have a go at it for you and try and give this puzzle, hopefully, some attention, which it sounds like it really deserves. It's... you can see this is 9x9, isn't it? Yeah, it's 9x9, and there are no 3x3 boxes because we're going to have to find the regions ourselves. This is sometimes called chaos construction. So that is one thing, and then these circles, we're going to have to find some arrows that pop out of them. So this one has 2 arrows that pop out of it. This one has 3 arrows, etc. But I'll read you the rules properly in a moment or two's time. I know that Mark will be watching this, intrigued to see whether or not I attack it in the same way that he did. So, Mark, if you're watching, let's see. Anyway, what else can I mention? Well, I'll give a quick shout out. The last couple of days on the channel, we have seen some extraordinary puzzles. Definitely, if you haven't had a chance to have a go at them yet, check out the Marty Sears puzzle from last Friday. Check out Glipperal's 2025 themed puzzle from yesterday if you really want to get your head wrecked. That's an incredible puzzle as well. Yeah, it is halcyon. Well, these are the halcyon days in the history of Sudoku construction, of that being no doubt. Now, I've got some birthdays to do. Where's my birthday list? Here it is. But I'll also just give a quick shout out for over on Patreon. We have our monthly competition running, which is The Hobbit. It's a Sudoku hunt that's been created for us by Blobz. It's amazing. Look, we're up to 1,900 of our patrons have managed to finish the first puzzle, An Unexpected Party. And there's been a big jump since yesterday in how many people have finished Home at Last. So 237 have made their way through all 19 of the puzzles, which is an absolutely brilliant effort. Very well done to all of you. Yeah, there's still plenty of time. If you've not started yet, you've got until the 20th of January to get your entry in and be in with a chance of winning the prize, which will be, again, at least the offer of trying to make a Sudoku video that will appear on the channel in due course with me. Which you might not want. That's fine. There are gaming keys if you don't want that. Now, let's do birthdays. I will start off with Julia. Julia, you have 20. It's your 21st birthday today. What an important birthday, Julia. I hope it's a very good day. Apparently, Cracking the Cryptic is your favourite YouTube channel, so that's that's great. That's great. I don't know for how many people that can be true, but Julia, I hope you have a brilliant birthday today with, of course, the requisite cake. Now, someone I know is also getting cake is Carolyn. Carolyn, you're turning the answer to life, the universe and everything, not the Sudoku secret, but the Douglas Adams secret, 42 today, over there in Cologne. I know this because your husband Mike wrote to us, and I think you've got a couple of cats as well. I don't know if some people's cats really like Cracking the Cryptic. I have no idea why. But Carolyn, I know that you are getting a 3-shaped candle in the corner of your chocolate cake today. So I hope it's heavily iced chocolate cake. And I understand you've been heavily obsessed with Sudoku for the last couple of years. Well done, you. Next, Justin. Justin, it's your birthday. I know this because Ashley wrote to us and wanted us to wish you a happy birthday. Obviously from her and from your daughter Harper Shea, and Ashley described you as being a super fan. I don't think we could have super fans. That's something that's reserved for people like Taylor Swift and Paul Simon, but it is nice if we've got any fans at all. So Justin, thank you for even considering being in that bracket. Next, Finlay. Finlay, it's your birthday. Your brother Sam wrote to us to tell you that. I think I've read about your birthday before. I think you're two brothers and you both watch, and I'm not even sure that Finlay hasn't made us some theme music at one time or another. I might be misremembering that. Apologies if so. But Finlay, I hope you have a great birthday today. And then finally, this is also from Sam, but definitely a different Sam. Tracy, it's your birthday today. And I know this because your husband, Sam, wrote to us, describing you as a wonderful partner in everything, even your taste in desserts. And apparently you are having chocolate cake today, heavily iced. Lucky you. Many happy returns. Now, let's have a look at this puzzle by Myxo. I am a huge fan of Myxo's puzzles. He's one of these people with a planet-sized brain. And yeah, okay, let's read the rules together. We have to divide the grid into 9 regions, each containing 9 orthogonally connected cells. What does that mean? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be 7, 8, 9. So that could be a region in the puzzle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, those cells are orthogonally connected, and the reason we know that is you can navigate this whole region by moving along shares that share an edge with one another. If we were to add this into this indigo region, this region is no longer orthogonally connected because this little cell here only touches this one at a point, and that's not good enough for orthogonal connection. So we're going to have to divide the grid into 9 regions, each containing 9 orthogonally connected cells, such that each cell is part of exactly one region. Gosh, I don't want constructors to even consider that concept. Yeah, so that's exactly as we'd expect. Some region borders have already been given, 2 by the looks of it. Fill the grid with the digits 1 to 9, such that no digit repeats in any row, column, or region. So it's sort of normal Sudoku within the parameters that if we have weird shaped regions, we mustn't repeat digits in them. From each circle, draw some arrows that travel in a straight line, either horizontally only or vertically only. Right, let's just stop there. So we're going to draw arrows. I'm going to make sure my pen tool is working. So like we could have an arrow that does this or this. But what I take from that is we can't have a wiggly arrow because the arrows have to go in straight lines horizontally only or vertically only. The number in the bottom right corner of a circle cell indicates the number of arrows that must be drawn from that circle. And digits along an arrow must sum to the digit in the attached circle. So if you if you had this and this was a 2, this was a 2 and this was a 3, 2 plus 3 equals 5. So we'd write 5 into the circle. That is how arrows work. I don't think anyone's going to be too surprised by that. And then one more paragraph of rules. It says, additionally, all cells along arrows must be part of the same region as the circle they originate from. If an arrow doesn't reach the edge of the grid, the cell directly after the tip must be in a different region than the arrow. Right, so if I redraw this arrow, what we're being told effectively is that those 3 squares would all be in the same region, and this one would be in a different region because it's in the cell after the tip. I think that's how I interpret the rules. I think that's not wrong. Anyway, do have a go. The way to play, as usual, is to click the link under the video, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, okay, I can see the start here. The start here, I think, is being very heavily telegraphed and it's actually really pretty. We've got an arrow there or a circle that's got to have 4 arrows sticking out of it that only go in straight lines. But none of the arrows can be one cell. Because, I mean, imagine this was a 1-cell arrow. Then the digits on the arrow sum to this digit, which means these would be the same digit in the same region and the same column of the Sudoku, so that clearly can't be right. So I think what has to happen there is that we're going to have 2-cell arrows in all 4 cardinal directions. And we're going to effectively create a cross shape, aren't we? So that's going to, oh, yeah, or actually, oh, no, okay, I'm going to change my colour of my arrows now. That was a bad choice, wasn't it? Let's do them in green. That shows up right. That'll show up absolutely brilliantly until we have a green region. And, well, the next question is, we've now filled 9 cells in this region, so that is a region. And now we can ask where 9 goes in that region, because you can't put 9 on an arrow, because the arrow cell circle would then be at least a 10, and that is not possible. So I think we're away. We've got a digit, which is, that feels like light relief compared to yesterday. Now, I tell you what I'm going to want to do, and that is to draw my boundaries in. That's always something that gives me a great amount of joy. And no jokes, please. So now, well, now these two look interesting, because aren't we being told, oh no, I don't want that colour, do I, for my arrows, that these have to go, there has to be 2 arrows, and the only way they can go is sort of east and west, and the only way this can go is north and south. We know that each arrow has to be at least 2 cells long, or we'd get the same digit repeating. I don't know. Oh. Ah, well, I do know, I suppose. I was going to say, I don't know whether you could have a 3-cell, so whether we could extend this arrow into the corner or this arrow into the corner. I'm actually going to tell you now we must extend one of them into the corner, because if we didn't, well, we know those cells are in the same region, don't we? We know these cells are in the same region. So let's imagine that both of these arrows stopped. Well, then this cell would, by the rules of the puzzle, be in a different region, but it would only have 1 cell in it, that region. That can't be true. So this digit in the corner is either blue or orange, which is on a 3-cell arrow. So that, yeah, oh, that's lovely. Right. So one of these is an 8. Okay, let me explain how I've worked that out. So what I'm seeing there is, let's just imagine this was orange for a moment. So it's an extension. So this arrow has gone into the corner. The logic's the same if this one ends up going into the corner, but let's just imagine this one does. Now, what we can see immediately is that the total of the digits on the arrows that emanate from this circle are at least 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 if we filled these arrow cells with the absolute minimum digits we possibly could. Well, they would add up to 15, wouldn't they? So we couldn't extend this again because that would add up to 21. And remember, at least, and remember basically what we're doing here is we're finding 2x, because if this is x, this arrow will add up to x and this will add up to x. So if 2x is 21, x is at least 10.5, and that's impossible. But if we stick with the 15 number, 15 won't work, because 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. I can't put 7.5 in here, so these have to add up to an even number. So we're looking at 16 or 18, meaning this is definitely, well, this would definitely be 8 or 9 if orange did go into the corner. But it can't be 9 because of this 9, and this can't be 9 either. So if this blue ends up in the corner, that has to be an 8, because neither of these circles can actually contain a 9. So one of these is an 8. And right, and what's more than that, imagine this was the 8. The digits then on the arrows would add up to 16 in 5 cells, which would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So the 6 would be partnering a 2, so this would be a 2, 6, and this would be a 1, 3, 4 going into the corner, because the 6 can't go on a 3-cell arrow that only adds up to 8, because if we combine 6 with 1 and 2, we get 9, knowledge bomb. So that is really very pretty indeed. We still don't know quite what's going on in terms of which of these circles is 8, but one of them is, let's actually give that, I mean it's a ludicrous pencil mark, but we might as well do it. These can't be in the same region, that's another thing we could note, because, well, that's 5 cells, that's 5 cells, add that, that's 11 cells, isn't it? So there are no such things in this puzzle as 11 cell regions. Why? Which region is that one joining? Yeah, I mean, there's a general principle, isn't there, I think, that we've already cottoned onto, which is that in this puzzle, the arrows that emanate from the circles, because they can't go diagonally, they have to be at least 2 cells long. So the only way this can go is it's actually going to hit, it's going to hit this cell, isn't it? So that's in the blue region. These must now be blue. There's not enough space here for a 9-cell region in this domino. So 2, 3, 4. Right. So blue. The cells we know are definitively blue. There are 9 of them. So that can't be blue. Otherwise it would be a 10th cell. So we are going into the corner with orange. This is 8. This is 2, 6. This is 1, 3, 4, and this is exactly as Mark said. It's just beautiful, isn't it? This could that be 8 as well? Maybe it could. No, it can't. For a weird reason, which is that I have to put 8 in this 9. Well, not this cross cage has to have an 8 in it, and that 8 is now in one of those squares on an arrow that adds up to 9. So there is a 1 in one of these squares as well. And this square, well, that's it. I've got something else here. This is now 5, 6, or 7 by Sudoku. It can't be less than that because it has to have 2 different arrows that sum to its total. So imagine it was 4. This would be a 1, 3 pair, and so would this. But yeah, this can't extend. I was just thinking about that, but if it extends, we know it's adding up to at least 8, which we know it can't do. And it can't extend anyway, because actually, look, if I define my regions, that will actually make me remember that fact. So look, we're building an orange region, and we've got 2 complete regions. But here's another thing. This can't be 5. Because if it's 5, the digits on the 2 arrows would be a 1, 4 pair and a 2, 3 pair. And this square would have no possible fill. So that is 6 or 7. So if it was 2, 4, 1, 5, that would be a 3 in the corner. Oh, and this digit, whatever this is going to be in a vertical domino that adds up to 9. So one of these is either 6, 3 or 2, 7. Right. That's in a new region. Because of the rules of the puzzle, it said that if an arrow didn't reach the edge, then the cell after the arrow was in a new region. So that's got to be in a new region. These squares are 5, 7, and 9 by dint of an esoteric process known as Sudoku. 9 in the blue region. It can't go on an arrow that only adds up to 6 or 7. It can't be on any old arrow because this would be a 10. So 9 is in one of 3 places. Can that be 1? If that was 1, this would be 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, that would work. That could work. We could make that 7 then by allocating them 2, 5 and 3, 4. Okay, let's think about another arrow then. Maybe the... Well, okay, let's use the principle that we've learnt, which is that arrows are 2 cells long, at least. To say that this, I know where the arrows go from this one, don't I? They've got to go up there, whoopsie. They've got to go there, there, and there. They can't go to the east, because it would only be a 1-cell arrow. So this region, I don't know whether I can extend any of these arrows more cells, but we can certainly say, now let's pick a color. These are the important things that we have to do. We'll pick the color red, maybe. That's rather pretty. That cell's been isolated. That must join red. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've only got one more cell to find. So if I do extend, I definitely can't extend into this one. Oh, or can I? If I extend and this arrow goes down, can arrows overlap? Or oh no, it would contain the same digit. Whoa, that's a weirdity. Right, if that was also red, yeah, its arrow would have to descend 2 cells, because it couldn't be a 1-cell arrow, and this cell would have the same digit in them, because they would contain the same 2. They both contain these 2 digits. So that definitely isn't red. It's probably green. Could it be orange? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, maybe it could be orange. Oh no, it probably can't be orange. In fact, okay, I've worked out this one is not red, so I know where its arrow goes. Its arrow must go horizontally. Now, I don't think... let me just explain why I don't think this can be orange. And that's because if it was orange, these 4 cells would be regionless. Now, one of them could become red, but the rest of them would be just unable to join a region, and that would give us the sort of wrong count of things. So does this have to be green, which we know exists up here somewhere? If, say, those 3... Ah, well, no, okay, let's do this slightly differently. I've worked out that whatever colour this is, it's not orange. So where does orange go? Orange, which is there, is going to have to come there, isn't it? So orange gets finished without really us understanding, or at least me understanding, what colour this arrow has to be. I think it might have to be this one. There's no space for it to get out. I mean, if it wasn't dark green, it would go here and then dark green would be cut off. So this is dark green. Now, is that dark green? Is this boundary here? Is that a me boundary? No, okay. That seems to be a Myxo boundary. Okay, so this can't be red and must be green. So green is 5 cells yet now. Note this is not the shape of a quincunx, for those of you who are wondering. A quincunx is this shape, as we talked about on Saturday evening. So this must be green, mustn't it, to get it up to 9 cells, which means those 2 are green. So green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So green is finished. Green is finished as a result of our exploration of the shape of quincunxes. I wanted to make that red. Is that nonsense? Actually, no, that is total and utter nonsense. That's gibberish. Right, let's look at this one. Because this cannot grow this way. I mean, I don't actually know if arrows can overlap, but even if they could, it couldn't do that, because these 3 squares would all then be in the red region, and red, I think, only needs 1 more cell. So it doesn't need 2 more cells. So this one must have an arrow that goes upwards and downwards, maybe into the corner again. But these are therefore not red, so we should give these a colour, shouldn't we? What colour? Yellow. We haven't used yellow yet. That's remiss of us. So these squares become one colour. These squares become a different colour. I'll outline the whole of the border just because then I don't have to remember to do it again. Now, what do we do next? We know that that digit is quite a big digit, because there have to be 3 different ways of making its total, don't they? So again, one way of thinking about that is if... Well, okay, let me finish that thought before I go on to different thoughts. If these digits were minimized on the arrows, what would they be? There are 6 of them. So there'd be the triangular number for 6, which is 1, 2, well, they'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which sum to the triangular number for 6, which is 21. Now, if they're 21 and there are 3 of them, this would be a 7 at least. So this is at least 7. But it's not actually 7, because if it was 7, this digit is impossible. And the way I'm seeing that is, if this is 7, we know these squares are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we know this is 7. So in theory, this needs to be an 8 or a 9, but it can't be an 8 or a 9 due to our pencil marks in the purple cross. So this is at least 8 now. So can that or that be the last red cell? If we did that, we'd be up to, well, what would we, how can we think about that? So we'd have 4 times 8 or 4 times 9. Aha, right, that doesn't work. Okay, so what I was trying to think about how to conceptualize that, and I found a way that's quite nice. If, let's say that this arrow extends, whoopsie, like this. Think about this just purely from an algebraic perspective. Now, this, and this individually each sum to x. And this is another x, which is 8 or 9. So these 8 cells of this region sum up to either 32 or 36, 4 times this digit. Now, the 9th cell is this one. So if this is 8, this is a 13. Now, I'm eliding over an important point there, aren't I? Which you may not know if you are new to cracking the cryptic or new to solving variant Sudokus. I have jumped ahead of myself, which is unforgivable, frankly. Let me explain something. This is a secret that is true for Sudokus, at least all normal Sudokus that contain the digits 1 to 9. It's very important, and I only share it with my very favourite people, of whom you're definitely one if you're still with me after half an hour of me rambling on. The digits 1 to 9 in Sudoku sum to 45, and 45 is the secret. So, if this is 8, and these cells therefore sum to 32, that would be the 9th cell in the grid and that 9th cell in the red region, and it would have to take the balance between 45, the sum of the digits 1 to 9, and the 32 that we've identified in these squares. So this would be 13. Well, that's clearly nonsense. But what happens if this is 9? If this is 9, these digits sum to 36, 4 times 9, and this would be, yep, another 9 to get us to 45, and we'd have 2 9s in the region, and a 9 clash in row 4. So we can't do this. This is not right. Okay, so what does that mean? That means these arrows do end. That's one of the things it means. So this is a new region. We could use lime green for that. That's got to come out. And this is a new region, but I don't know if that's going to be yellow. I mean, it's definitely not red. Okay, so the 9th red digit is in one of those squares. And its value... Well, hang on. Do I now know this is 9, or can that still be 8 then? If I've reduced... no, I don't know, do I? Sorry, this could be 8. Yeah, 8 has 3 different totals. So this could be 172635. Oh, it's actually difficult for that to be 8 though. That would be a 4. And the reason I'm seeing that is that the digits, you couldn't put 4 on any of these arrow cells, because in order to get to 8, we'd have to do double 4, wouldn't we? And that's not going to work from a Sudoku perspective. So 4 and 9 are the digits that are not in this little area of the grid. And that can't be 9 because of this. So this would have to be 4. That would put 4 in one of those squares, which would have to be accompanying a 5 to add up to 9. And if this is 9, these digits will still sum to 36, but there'll be 2 digits left over that sum up to 9. Oof, actually that's quite flexible, I suspect. Oh, bobbins, right, so that's not it. Okay, this one has to be a horizontal arrow, because a vertical arrow is going to be a 2-cell at least sequence, and that won't work. So this has an arrow that either goes this way or this way. If it goes left, it could be a 3-cell arrow. This one, that's at least a 5. And the reason we know that is obviously these digits here have a minimum sum of 10. If we filled them with 1, 2, 3 and 4, they would add up to 10. Divide 10 by 2, we get 5. So this digit is at least 5. Oh, bobbins, I don't know. Oh, I suppose those... Okay, let's do some Sudoku. Those digits have to be the remaining digits we've not put in orange yet. So they are 5, 7 and 9. That's so underwhelming. This digit, is that somehow... I don't like the look of that, I have to say. This arrow? I mean, this... No, the thing is, this digit could be as low as 3, I think. If this was a 1-2 pair, they would add up to 3. That seems totally reasonable, doesn't it? I've got a bit stuck here. Sorry, it was going remarkably smoothly. I've got one more digit to add to this, and it has to be an orthogonal digit. So it's this one, or this one. I've got 5 cells of a region here. Can that go into the corner? If it goes into the corner, then again this is going to go up to being 8 or 9 in value, because the digits will add up to at least 15. I'm so sorry. I'm actually just hit a brick wall here. I'm not sure what I'm meant to think about. Is it Sudoku again? Or law of leftovers? Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Wow, okay. Let me just think about this for a second, because I think there is something mathsy between that digit and that digit. If that is 6, they are 12. That would be a 3. If that's a 7, 14, 5. This is... Yeah, I can prove this digit is 3 or 5. I don't know. Okay, let me show you how I'm doing that. So the way I'm seeing that, actually, yeah, let's talk about the law of leftovers, which is very important normally when you're solving these puzzles with funny shaped regions. And the way I think it might be easiest to, if you've never seen the law of leftovers before, is to actually think about it from a set perspective. So this is how I'm going to show you what I'm doing with these regions. Now, if I was to just highlight the top 3 rows of the grid, and I was to ask you what digits we would find in those 3 rows, it's such a fatuous question. You'd all immediately say, well, we'd find 3-digit ones, wouldn't we? 3-digit twos, because it's 3 complete rows of the puzzle. So there's going to be 3 of everything. But if I was to say to you, okay, what about just those 2 regions then? You'd say, okay, that's 2 of everything, wouldn't you? Because that's 2 complete regions of the puzzle. So the difference, if we go back to highlighting these 3 rows together, we said that was 3 sets of the digits 1 to 9. We said these 2 regions were 2 sets of the digits 1 to 9. So this sort of weird rump thing here, those cells must be 1 set of the digits 1 to 9. There must be 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, etc. in those cells that have a black flash. But we also know that in the blue, this is a complete set of the digits 1 to 9. So if I know that the cells with the black flash are the digits 1 to 9, and the whole of the blue region is also the digits 1 to 9, hopefully it's very clear to everyone that these 3 digits must be the same digits as these 3 digits. So it's sort of called the law of leftovers, because these digits are sort of left out of the first 3 rows, and these digits sort of poke into the first 3 rows, and actually they have to be the same digits. Now, what can we deduce from that? And learning that these 3 digits are the same as these 3 digits. Well, normally we couldn't do anything, but actually the way Myxo has done this, there is something weirdly mathematical going on. Because I know the sum of these 3 digits. Well, I know it's binary. I know it's either 12 or 14, depending on whether this is 6 or 7. So these add up to 12 or 14, but those definitely add up to 9. So this digit must be 3 or 5 to take the balance. Oh, no, sorry, I suddenly saw the 579. I was about to make that a 3. And that's not true, is it? Okay. All right, but that everything I've said is true. Everything I've said is true, but I'm going to go slightly further now. It's not only true to say that the sum of these digits is the same as the sum of these 3 digits. It's also true to say they actually are the same digits. Oh, nearly. Well, yeah, you can't do it with 6, can you? Because if this is 6, what we're saying is that 6 is therefore on this arrow, it adds up to 9. So if I make that 6, this has to be a 3-6 pair to add up to 9. And that means that 3 is on this arrow, which adds up to 6. So another 3 would be on the arrow, and this would be 3-3-6. And those would be 3-3-6, and that just doesn't work, because this would be double 3. So I think that has to be 7, which is going to put a 7 on this arrow, along with a 2. And it does work now, because now I've definitely got 2 in here. And what adds to 2? What does 2 add with to make 7? Well, it's 5. So that is a 5, and the world works. Oh, that's really gorgeous, actually. That is gorgeous. So now this is 5 by Sudoku. This is a 7-9 pair, so that's 7, that's 2. this is not 5. We might be able to do other things. Come on, Simon, think. Does it mean... Do we know that if that's 3, 4, that would put 1 in the corner. This is either 3, 4 or 1, 6. And 9 I can actually do, can't I? Because this 9 has taken away 2 of my positions for 9 in the blue region. So these digits add up to 9, and they're not 2, 7, and they're not 4, 5. So they're either 1, 8 or 3, 6. And that might be important. Whatever they are, if they're 1, 8, this digit becomes quite low, because it then couldn't be 7, 8, 9, so its maximum value would be 6. It would have to be 2, 4, 6. If that's 1, 8, this can't be 3 or 4 or 5. Actually, if that's... It's 3, 6. Surely I must put 1 on the arrow then. If it's 3, 6, what is that digit? If that's 3, 6, there's no way that this arrow can exist, I don't think. I might be wrong about that. I'm just going to have actually a proper think about it. But we've now... What I want to think about is, what is this digit? So what is the sum we're aiming for? Because it can't be... Well, the minimum it could be would be 4, but that would be a 1-3 pair. That's not going to work. It can't be 6 anymore, so it'd have to be 8, but it can't be 8 because it can't be 1, 7, 2, 6 or 3, 5. So this is 1, 8, I think. But that puts a lot of pressure on this. Did I think this had to be 6 then? Yeah, that's the only thing this can be. That's got to be 6 with a 2, 4 pair. And now, what is it? What's that digit then? 3. I haven't put 3 in this row, so that is a 3. That's good. That stops this being 5, because 5 needed a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. And what about these digits are 1 and 8. So I know what these digits are now. 3, 4, 6. Oh, hang on, I've got a 7 arrow here. I can't put an 8 on a 7 arrow. So 1, 6 is what we need. 3, 4 here. 1 is not in the corner. Chance of a 3 in the corner. 3, 4, 1, 8, 9. That's no longer 8, so that's no longer 1. And that digit is the partner of 5 adding up to this digit, so that is 3 or 4. Oh, and that's going to go on the bottom cross, look. So this is, oh, that's not interesting, sorry. So whatever this digit is has to be here by Sudoku. So this is 3, 6 or 4, 5. But that's sort of the same, isn't it? So whatever's not used here is going to be used in one of these dominoes. Now, what should we do next? We could argue we know. Do we know what that is now? No, I don't think so. If this is 8, that's the 3, 5 limb of it. This would have to be the 2, 6 limb of it. So this would be the 1, 7 limb of it. That would be a 9. I tell you something that's a bit surprising at this juncture, and that is I very much have not got the regions built. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got sort of 5.5 regions built, and one arrow I've not considered. Now, so the arrow here is 3, 4, 5, or 6, I think. It can't be 7, 8, or 9. And whatever this is going to have quite a profound impact on this. And now, oh no, I've got this feeling I'm going to get stuck again now. Let me think. If that's 8, it doesn't work, does it? That's it. Oh, see, if I'd had this thought in the correct order, I'd have been away. This is lovely. Right. If this is 8, we looked at this before. We know that those squares add up to 32. So the two squares that are not on these arrows or in the circle add up to 13. And they are going to be the digit 4, which cannot go on an arrow, and the digit 9. And this one would be a 4. But then this one would be a 3. This would be a 3-4 pair. And where would they go in this box? They'd have to both go there, and they don't add up to 9. So this is a 9, and that's a 4. And now this is a 4-5 pair. These squares are now 1, 8 in some order and 3, 6. So these digits are going to be restricted. That's definitely not 8. That's definitely not 1. This is now not 4, 5, so this is 3 or 6. If it's 3, it has to be a 1, 2 pair in one direction or the other. And what does that mean? So now, oh, I see. So now the digits that are going to be in this red cage, there's this one and one other, and they are going to add up to 9. So, but what? Okay, so what are those two digits? 2 and something. 2 and 5. Where's 5? Oh, sorry. Where's 5 in the row? How long has that been? Has that been available forever? I'm so sorry, I didn't see that. So that's a 5. This is now a 2. So there's a 7 in one of those 3 squares. So whichever one of these is the final red square has to be a 7. Because it's got to be the partner of this that adds up to 9 with it. This is 2, so this is 2. So this is 2, so we get a 6 here, a 4 here. And a 9 here in the corner, a 7 here. So this is now not 9, so we've taken some of the availability of this. Oh, look, this is not 8. Because that would require a 3 here, and that would break with this digit, so it's not 8. This is a 1 or a 2 by Sudoku to add up, well, not really by Sudoku, by maths to add up to 6 or 7 along the arrow. And that means 8 in this column is either exactly here or exactly there. But this, right, okay, here is a little point in which actually doesn't help me brilliantly. But now, here's another point. Okay, having restricted this to not being able to be 8, it can't grow into the corner. Because remember what we said earlier, 5 different digits adds up to at least 15, in fact more than that in this case. It would be 1, 2, 4, 6, 7 as a minimum or something like that. So it just won't work. So this is not in the same region as this cell in the corner, which I'm sort of running out of good colours for, so I'll use my indigo colour. So yellow has to get out there. Oh, and well, this region has to get out, so yellow has to keep getting out. Yellow has to keep getting out. Myxo's kind border distinction there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got one more cell of yellow to find. Can that be yellow? Because no, I suppose green. Green could maybe pinch a cell. If that's yellow, that's red. I'm not sure. But I'm going to come back to another point I noticed when I was thinking about these two arrows. Now, is it possible that neither of these arrows has a 1 on it? I don't think so. If this is 6, this has definitely got to be a 5-1 pair. But if this is 7 and this is 5-2 as a result of that, 3-4 is not possible on the bottom domino, so this would have to be 1-6. So there is a 1 in one of these 3 squares, which means this is definitely 8, and that's definitely 1. So the digit... So we can work out what this digit is now. Well, approximately, I think. If this is 7, you can't put 4 on the arrow, so it's 4 in the corner. And if this is 6, then this is 7, obviously, because we can't put 7 on the arrow. So this is 4 or 7 in the corner. 1, 2, 3, and 8 into these squares. I am perfectly... Oh no, I've broken it. Oh no, I haven't. I couldn't. Why could I not see how to make those options add up to 9? Because I am a numpty. So that's 1, 8. Okay, so this is 2, 3. So if that was a 2, you couldn't put 2 in this column. Oh, that's that. Hang on, there's something law of leftovers going on here, isn't there? I mean, it's just true. You can't make this 2 because you couldn't put 2 in column 9. So that is 3. That is 2. So 2 is definitely on an arrow. What about... We don't know. I was wondering whether I knew for sure that there was a 4 on the yellow arrow, because neither of these can be a 4. But if that was how yellow grew, and that was 4, then I wouldn't have to put a 4 in that little panoply of digits. So I'm not sure. Okay, so do I know what this is now? I know what these are. They're not 2, 7, 1, 8 or 4, 5. That's 3, 6. I must know the order of that. But no, apparently not. That's weird. Oh, this can't be 7 anymore, because 7 is the red digit. So one of these is the red 7. And what does that mean? I don't know. This is not 6, so that is not 3. Come on, Simon. What do we do next? We could argue that. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. Do I know? This is okay. This has become a 6. So that's either going this way or this way, and it's either a 2-4 pair or a 1-5 pair. And I wish I knew which, but I don't think I do. So this column hasn't had 1 and 3 in it, look, so we can put those in. And if you're saying, yes, but you don't know the order, you're quite right. I don't think I do know the order. Oh dear, okay, I'm stuck again. It's becoming a more common thing in the puzzle as it's gone on, hasn't it? I got off to a decent start, but I'm getting more and more bogged down. So I'd really like to know what this is. Have we got a way to tell that? if this was, can that be, if that's, that would be really powerful. If that's 7, this has to be a 1-6 pair. That would be 6 on top of 1, which would mean that we'd have a horizontal 2-4, which would have to actually be on this side of this 6, because we can't put 2 into either of these squares. Oh, I've got a 6 here. So that's a 6, and that's a 3. So that's not 3. That's good. So this is the 1-8 side of my 9 arrow. So this is the 3-6 side of my 9 arrow. Now that's lovely for a musical reason. I've got 3s in those squares and 3s in those squares. So within that little 2x2, there are definitely 2 3s. How many 3s are we expecting there to be in column 2 and column 3 of this puzzle? And the answer is 2. There should not be 3 3s in two columns of a Sudoku, or you will have broken Sudoku. So those are not 3s, and that means that's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. So 4, 8 and 9, oh no, 4, 8 and 9 down here. I've also got sort of an X-wing of 4s, so there's no 4s in these squares. So 4s and 3s do not live here. No, what I was about to say isn't true, so I'm not going to say that. Okay. So maybe this column? Oh, nearly. So nearly. Oh, where's 3 in this column? It's either here or there. No. Right, that's useful. Okay, so 3 in this column is the question we're going to ask about. Now, the thing is, I don't think this can be 3, because if it's 3, it's not yellow. So it's something, and it's also not red, so it's something that has to get out. But in getting out, it's going to trap red in at size 8, which is not going to be allowed. So that's 3, and that resolves the 3 and the 1, which is gorgeous. And we've got loads of, oh no, well, we have got loads of 3s, because we've got those 3s as well. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 8 3s in the grid, so I should be able to get the last 3. Where have I not put a 3? Column 5, I haven't put it. Where's the 3 in column 5? That's the question we're going to ask. It's there. So that means that this digit is not in that region. Oh yes, that's quite a good way of thinking about it, actually. This is the 9th region. Let's go to my palette. What colour have we not had? Black. I might have to make this a black digit. It's because it is the 9th colour. Now, do I know whether this is part of the 6 or not? It feels like it would have to be. Although... Yeah, so every shape I have a 3 in is definitely distinct. And if this black digit did go there, I don't think there's enough space to get green and indigo out. In fact, maybe it's better to think about green. Where's green going? Because one of these squares is red. 1, 2, I've got 1 more yellow, haven't I? 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I've got 1 more yellow, 1 more red. So let's just say they're there for the sake of exposition. I've then got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cells. Well, I've got to allocate those cells. Green cannot just occupy this portion of the grid. It's not possible. possible. So green has to spill out into this column somewhere. That's because otherwise there's just not enough space for it. But also the same is true of this, because two of these are red and yellow. I don't quite know where they go. Then maybe this is yellow and that's red or something. But two of these squares are red and yellow. So let's just say it's those two. Green has to get out and has to... So in fact, I think green has to hug this side, and then indigo also hasn't got the space and is going to have to come out here. So actually I'm now concluding I don't think that this black cell can take this. I think this might have to be green, because both indigo and green need to cross this boundary of the grid. That's how I'm seeing that. And I think that that is logically true. So I'm going to now say I know the order, which must be exactly like this. That must hug this, therefore. This must be green. Now it might get more difficult. Does that have to be green? If that's not green, those would be green, and there wouldn't be enough space for red and yellow to take one more cell each. So that is green. So this is black. Does green have to go again? Almost certainly. 5, yeah, it does. We know 2 of these, so green does have to go again. Indigo could take 2 of these, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So indigo has to go again. Now does green have to go again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It does have to go again. But now, now this region has to take this square for sure, and that's cutting off this 2 by 2. So all of that becomes black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this region, which is not the first, this is not the region I thought would be finished first over on this side, but I think it is. That is a region in and of that we have discovered. Now, all we've got to do now is work out how these are allocated. They're either green or indigo. How are we going to do that? Is it going to be, is it Sudoku, or is it something else? The answer is I'm not sure. Oh, bobbins, I don't know. These squares in this column are 7, 8 and 9. Now does that tell us something? 2 of these are yellow. So if there was a 7 here, that would make this a 6. Oh, I don't know. Bobbins, come on, Simon. Have a sensible thought, man. What do we do? I know there's a 1 in one of these 3. I could... I don't know. Myxo. I've tripped over an hour again. I keep failing to solve these puzzles in under an hour. Is it going to be something like, where is 8 in row 5? That's nearly a good question. But I don't think it is a good enough question. What about... Oh, golly, I don't know. So one of these is... Oh, you know what? Here's something really simple. I worked out that the red digit had to be a 7 ages ago. So once this was yellow, well, I had 7 in those 3, and do you remember? Because at one point this could have been a red digit, but the red digits have now moved up here, so the 7 is in there, and that's looking at this square. That's going to be huge. This is 1 by maths. This is a 2-4 pair. That's going to give me a 7 in the corner. I'm so sorry if you've been shouting at me about that. I just didn't see it. But I have now. And therefore... so this is probably all yellow. Because I need 7, 8 and 9. And then that would be 7. One of these is a 7. I get a 7 in the corner here. And I tell you what we could do. We could do some delineation to make ourselves feel better about ourselves. I don't know. That's actually... It's sort of helped, but it sort of hasn't as well. So if this was red, it would be 7, and then this would be 7 in order to complete yellow. And then that would have to be lime green. Is that okay? Maybe. Maybe I have to pencil mark these. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. I mean, that just... No, I refuse. I just refuse. That cannot be what we're meant to do next. Is it it's probably going to be some law of leftovers trick, I think. But I'm not sure where. We did quite well with 3s, didn't we? What's the most prevalent digit we have in this grid that is not 3? Is it 4? No. I was just thinking with my X-wing over here. 8? Oh, definitely not. I don't think it's 9. No, I've got 4 9s actually, and I suppose a 5th here. Oh, bother. Okay, sorry, I'm stuck again. It's going to be a question like, where does... If that's a 9, that has to be a 9. Because it would have to appear in this column somewhere. Which... I don't know. Do I know the order of this 1, 8? The answer is, or this 2, 4. Or, hang on, I haven't thought about this 6 arrow for a while. It looks like it's going this way, doesn't it? So it's either... Oh, look, that's interesting. It's not 2, 4, whichever way it goes, because that's going to break this square. So it's 1, 5 in some direction or other, which apparently is not telling me anything. So there's a 1 and a 5 in those squares in row 8. That can't be 5 because of this. No. You're kidding. Oh. That's weird, isn't it? That's... Oh, here is a sensible Sudoku question. Where's 6 in column 5? It can't repeat in green, so it seems to have to be there. So if this was 1, 5 on this side, that would be a 1. That would be an 8. This digit and this digit, I will pencil mark them now. 4, 5, 8, 9. 4, 5, 8, 9. So that's 4, 5 or 9 by Sudoku, just doing this row. Now can we get rid of anything? 9 can come out of this one, look. Oh, bother. I don't know again. Okay. Come on, Simon. You must be close to cracking this now. It's just going to be spotting that there must be some inconsistency around extending these shapes in some direction or other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I was wondering whether green could get to the corner, but I think it possibly can. Fives? Do we know anything? We know quite a lot about 5s in a few places. Oh, and I've got this 5 floating around down here somewhere. So if this was 1, 5, neither of these could be a 5, because there is going to be a 5 in one of those squares. Oh, that's it. Right, lovely. Where is 1 in the black region? And the answer, I really have not got a clue, but it is in one of those squares, and therefore it forms a sort of, again, it's this floating X-wing idea. We can't have any more 1s in columns 2 and 3. So there is no 1 here, so there is no 5 here. So this becomes, that's huge. That becomes green. And now now Indigo has no escape. So Indigo's got to go into the corner. This is a 1-5 pair, and I know the order of that. So that's 5, that's 1. Oh, this is better now. Okay, we're away again. Thanks to a little old X-wing. Now, okay, has that helped me? Oh yeah, it's given me a 1 here and an 8 here. So 4, 7, 9. So this is 4 or 7. And that's 4, 7 or 9. Apparently. Okay, but does that... How do we do this then? Have I got more X-wingy things going on in this region of the world? So let's pick a digit that might be propitious. 4. Yeah, there's no 4 down here by X-wing logic. So the 5, 8, 9 I've got these down to, or 5, 9 and 5, 8. Nearly with 8s and 9s again. But the problem is that these have the options of being 4s, 8s and 9s. What about this row? 2, 4, 5. There is... Ah, that's big. Where's 8? Oh, good grief. This is huge. Where's 8 in this row? This might have been available for a while, but it's got to be there. And that's, well, 2 things that's doing. Firstly, it's putting 8 in this corner. Secondly, that's a 5. That's a 9. That's a 4 now. Whoa, this almost could crack the puzzle, could it? 4, 9 here. So, no, we can't quite conclude what this is, I don't think. Which other digits did that just give me? It gave me this 5, didn't it? I don't know. I'm going to pencil mark this square now. 2, 4, 5, 7. And that's definitely not 4, but by dint of this. So 2, 5, 7. There's a 4 in one of these. Probably I meant to think about this little congregation. Oh, remember there's a 7 in one of these. Can I do better with 7s somehow? Oh, nearly. I thought I got 4 in the bottom row. Actually, I should put the arrow in here, shouldn't I? That's remiss of me. Where is... Oh, bother. Naughty Simon, come on. Let's just get this finished. And we can give the plaudits to Myxo. Let's have a look at this column. 7, 8, oh, 7, 8, 9 again. So many 7s, 8s and 9s. This feels like it must be wrong. There's a 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. Quintuple in row 7. So I don't 2, 4. That's right, isn't it? So this digit can't be another. It can't be an 8 as well. That must be 1. That must be 8. This is 7, 9. There's a 1 now in one of 2 places up here. And if this is a quintuple, 5 and 6 have not been placed in this row. So this is a 5, 6 pair. And we know the order. So that's 5, that's 6, that's 6, that's 3, that's 3, that's 4, that's 4, that's 1, that's 1. This is now no longer able to be 5. So this should be a 2, 7 pair. Surely we know the order. No, apparently not. That's now 2 or 7. Surely that resolves itself. No. Oh. Ah. Okay, this is huge. I've got a 2, 7 pair now in columns 2 and 3. So we can. So look, this becomes a 4. We can't repeat 7 in the region. That becomes a 9. That means we get the 9 over here. 9, 4, 4, 2. 7, 9 means 7 here, 2 here, 2 here, 5 here, 9 here, 7 here. Good grief. So we're all, oh yeah, we're probably going to be able to solve, oh we are, we actually are. We're going to be able to solve the Sudoku, and all we've got to do now is allocate the digits to the regions. Oh, good grief. Right, so what have we got? What do we miss? We've not got an 8 in green, so that's definitely the green 8. And that does make it core 8. It's now got all its digits. We needed, what was it, a 7? So that 7 must be the digit that red needed. And then that's become yellow. Now, has yellow got one? Yellow has got one of everything. I can see that. Wow. Oh, that's stellar. That's a brilliant puzzle, Myxo. Is it right? Yes. I mean, it felt right, didn't it? Another stunner. Another absolute stunner. Mark's quite right. That it's ridiculously clever. Some of the stuff at the beginning. There was one step which was unlike really almost anything I'd seen before. This digit having a relationship with this, so this sort of relationship between the sum of those and the sum of those, and the way we could just then deduce everything was absolutely brilliant. It's a lovely puzzle. I mean, the sort of basic idea of unknown arrows spreading out, I think it could warrant more puzzles actually. I really, really did enjoy that. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. We'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.